Welcome to MRL. In this learning session, we'll be learning the solutions of a few examples of quadratic equations chapter of 10 CBSE, and this is exercise number 4.2. So let us begin. In the first example, we are asked to find the roots of quadratic equation. So we are asked to find the roots of quadratic equation. So in the first example is x square minus 3x minus 10 equal to 0. Now to find the roots of quadratic equation, we have got different methods. We have the middle term splitting method, the identity method, the quadratic formula method, and also we have the completing the squares method. In the present textbook, we observe that there is only one method being adopted, and that is middle term splitting method, and that is I am going to adopt here. Now if you see this equation, x square minus 3x minus 10 equal to 0 is a quadratic equation. Now to find the roots of this, we go for middle term splitting method, and I think you all know about the middle term splitting method. If you are not sure of middle term splitting method, then please learn the factorization of by middle term splitting method, and then you can continue with the solving of these examples. And for that you have a separate video on factorization, and that you can just go through it, learn it, and then continue solving these examples. Now here I have split the middle term here as minus 5x and 2x, and you know why it is, because minus 5 plus 2 is minus 3, minus into plus is minus, minus 5 into 2 is minus 10, and therefore it is 100% a correct splitting. Therefore x square minus 5x plus 2x minus 10 equal to 0. Now take x common in that, we get x minus 5 plus 2 common in that, x minus 5 equal to 0. We have got two factors here, x minus 5 and x plus 2 equal to 0. So equating x minus 5 equal to 0, x plus 2 equal to 0, because one of them has to be 0 if RHS has to be 0, and therefore x is equal to 5 and x is equal to minus 2. They are the roots of the given quadratic equation. Remember that. So now here the second example, we have root 2 x square plus 7x plus 5 root 2 equal to 0. Now we have to split it. Now if you observe here, the coefficient of x square is root 2 and the constant is 5 root 2. Multiply it, we get root 2 into root 2 is 2, 5 into 2 is 10. So we have to find two numbers a plus b. The sum must be 7 and the product must be 10, and that is already known to us. So now split it in such a manner that you can get the sum as 7 and the product as 10. So I have split here, 5 plus 2 is 7, and the product is 5 into 2 is 10, and therefore after splitting we find that root 2 is common here and x also is common. Taking root 2x common, we get x plus root in the bracket. Similarly 5 is common here, taking x plus root 2 equal to 0. So therefore remember, even after middle term splitting method, we have to group it, and after grouping it take HCF common. So that is the procedure of factorization, which you already know. So we have two factors, x plus root 2 and root 2x plus 5 equal to 0. So x plus root 2 equal to 0, root 2x plus 5 equal to 0. Therefore x is equal to minus root 2 and x is equal to minus 5 by root 2 are the two factors of this given quadratic equation. And coming to the next example, 2x square plus x minus 6 equal to 0, and this is very simple, because minus 6 into 2 is minus 12, and addition I should get 1x, and multiplication I should get minus 12. So plus 4 minus 3 gives me plus 1x, plus 4 into minus 3 gives me minus 12, and therefore the splitting is correct. So taking 2x common, we get in the bracket x plus 2, taking 3 common in the bracket, we get x plus 2. Therefore x plus 2 into 2x minus 3 equal to 0, x plus 2 equal to 0, 2x minus 3 equal to 0. Therefore x is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to 3 by 2 are the two roots of the given quadratic equation. Remember that. Now coming to the next example, we have 2x square minus x plus 1 by 8 equal to 0 here. Now I want to simplify it, so I have multiplied by 8 here. So when I multiply by 8, then 8 into 2 is 16x square, 8 into minus 1 is minus 8x, and 8 into 8 becomes 1, and 8 into 0 is 0. So now if you observe here, it is 100% a minus b whole raised to square form. This is a square minus 2ab plus b square form. Therefore we get 4x minus 1 whole raised to square equal to 0. So 4x minus 1 whole raised to square is equal to 4x minus 1 into 4x minus 1 equal to 0. So 4x minus 1 equal to 0, and that is x is equal to 1 by 4, x is equal to 1 by 4. Therefore the roots are equal roots, that is 1 by 4 and 1 by 4. So please remember that. Now the next example is 100x square minus 20x plus 7 equal to 0. Again here if you observe, this is a square minus 2ab plus b square form, therefore it is a minus b whole square equal to 0. So 10x minus 1 whole square equal to 0. So 10x minus 1 into 10x minus 1 equal to 0. So we get x is equal to 1 by 10 and x is equal to 1 by 10, and again two equal roots. So please remember, therefore as I have told you, we can carry out the factorization by identity method or by middle term splitting method or by completing the squares method, or you can use the quadratic formula method, which of course in the CBSE textbook they generally follow, that is called the middle term splitting method or the identity method. So that is what I have adopted here. Now to solve the problems of example 1 of textbook, these are the example which are there in the textbook, and let us attempt these examples. Now we are given that John and Jeevanti have 45 marbles and together. So John and Jeevanti together have 45 marbles, and the John marbles are not known and Jeevanti's marbles are also not known to us. But the very clear it is, if John marbles are x, because total marbles are 45, therefore Jeevanti must have 45 minus x marbles. But both of them they have lost 5 marbles, therefore the marbles of John would be 5 less, therefore x minus 5, and the marbles of Jeevanti has to be 5 less, that is 45 minus 5 minus x, that is 40 minus x, and that is correct. Now it is also given to us the product of their marbles, they now have, that means after having lost 5 marbles, the product now is 124, therefore x minus 5 into 45 minus x is equal to 124. So simplifying this, we get what we call 40x minus 200 minus x square plus 5x is equal to 124, and that is 40x plus 5x is 45x minus 200 minus x square equal to 124, and then simplifying it, we get a quadratic equation x square minus 45x plus 324 equal to 0. By middle term splitting method, we get two factors, x minus 9 and x minus 36 equal to 0. Therefore x minus 9 equal to 0, x minus 36 equal to 0, or x is equal to 9 and x is equal to 36. Therefore John had 9 marbles, whereas Jeevanti had 36 marbles at the start. So the number of marbles which John and Jeevanti had are 9 marbles and 36 marbles respectively. Remember that. Now the second example given is, there are a number of toys produced by industry. The number of toys produced in a day, if you take them as x, then the cost of production of each toy, please understand, the cost of production of each toy is 55 minus x, 55 minus x. That means number of toys produced in a day is x, then the cost of production of each toy is 55 minus x, and the total cost of production for a day is rupees 750. So try to understand this. The total cost of production is 750. Therefore, the total cost will be the number of toys produced, that is x, and the cost of production of each toy, and that is x in the bracket 55 minus x is equal to 750. So when you open it, we get a quadratic equation, x square minus 55x plus 750 equal to 0. And factorization, after doing the factorization, we get two factors, x minus 30, x minus 25 equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to 30 or x is equal to 25. So the number of toys may be 30 or 25, and accordingly the cost will be different and the total cost remains the same. Remember that. Now coming to the next example, we are given the sum of two numbers as 27 and the product of the two numbers as 182. We have to find the numbers. Now let us assume that one number be equal to x, then the second number will be 27 minus x, because the sum of them is 27, and also we have been given that product of these two numbers is 182, therefore x into 27 minus x is equal to 182. So when you simplify it, we get a quadratic equation, and after getting the quadratic equation, you can go for middle term splitting method, and then we get x minus 14, x minus 13 equal to 0. Therefore x minus 14 equal to 0, x minus 13 equal to 0, x is equal to 14, and x is equal to 13. Therefore the two numbers are 13 and 14. So please remember that. Now the next example is, the sum of squares of two consecutive integers is 365. The sum of two consecutive integers is 365, and we have to find those integers. Now let us assume one integer as x, then the consecutive integer will be x plus 1, and the product is the square of the first integer is x square, the square of the second integer, the consecutive integer is x plus 1 whole to square, and their sum is 365, and that is what is given to us. Now when we open this bracket, it will be a plus b whole to square, therefore x square plus 2x plus 1. Then if you simplify it, we get a quadratic equation x square plus x minus 182 equal to 0, and by middle term splitting method we find two factors, that is x plus 14 and x minus 13 equal to 0. Therefore here LHS has to be 0, therefore x plus 14 is 0 or x minus 13 is equal to 0, or x is equal to 14 or x is equal to 13. Therefore the two consecutive numbers are 13 and 14. So that is what you have to understand and solve. Now the next example is, we have a right angle triangle and the hypotenuse is given as 13 centimeters and altitude is 7 centimeters less than the base. So that means if the base is b, the altitude is b minus 7. Now applying the Pythagoras theorem, we know that AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. That means 13 square is equal to b square plus b minus 7 whole to square. So after simplifying this, we get 2b square minus 14b plus 49 is 169, or again bringing the terms, all the terms to the, and writing in standard form, we get 2b square minus 14b minus 120 equal to 0. By middle term splitting method, we get the two factors, that is b minus 12 and b plus 5. So therefore b minus 12 equal to 0 and b plus 5 equal to 0, b is equal to 12 and b is equal to minus 5. Therefore the sides are 12 centimeters and 5 centimeters. So this, if b is 12, then b minus 7 is definitely 5. So the two sides of the triangle are, that is 12 centimeters and 5 centimeters. Now all these examples, if you observe, they are all based on quadratic equations, and the solving of the quadratic equation is by the middle term splitting method. So please understand this, follow them, and especially solving the statement examples is important. You have to understand the statement, read the statement again and again, understand the statement, frame a quadratic equation, and then solve it. So that is what is the method followed, and try to practice them. Practice more examples, simple examples, then go for difficult examples. That is how you learn to solve the examples related to quadratic equation. And again I suggest, please learn the middle term splitting method and how to solve the quadratic equations. Okay, so note down them in a book and keep it as a reference for you, okay, which you can use in the future. Thank you.